Did my F21 boyfriend of 9 months, M27, rape me? TW, sexual assault mention, drinking, slight description of sexual acts. Hi, this is heavy, so let's get to it. My boyfriend and I have been dating for a little over 9 months and it has been wonderful. We live about an hour apart, we are in the Midwest, so we spend a lot of weekends together when we can. Recently though, we've hit a bit of a rough patch. I, with this being my first relationship, was questioning my feelings and if I was ready to date someone long term. This affected our sex life. We usually got intimate pretty regularly, like once or twice a day when together. However, a few days prior to this event, I had specified I wanted to take a break from sex so I could evaluate my feelings independently from it. He took it well and said he understood, and did not push it at the beginning of our weekend together. Enter last Saturday. We were watching college football, and I got pretty drunk. He was drinking as well, but stated that he was close to sober. After the game, I was super tired so I went upstairs to take a nap. He followed, and we settled into bed. We were spooning, and I was still very drunk. I was slurring my words, having trouble walking, and overall didn't have a lot of control in what I was doing. I remember grinding against him in my sleep, but I wasn't doing it on purpose, more responding to his movements. The next thing I knew, we were naked and being intimate. I remember specifically not being able to keep my eyes open or verbally respond to him, or make any real movements. I kept fading in and out of consciousness, and wasn't present for a lot of it. He noticed this, and stopped and asked if I was awake, repeatedly hitting my face to keep my eyes open. He concluded that I was too drunk, and left me in bed and went downstairs. A short while later, he came back upstairs and got into bed. I thought he was going to apologize, so I fell asleep in his arms again, still very drunk. The next thing I know, again, we are having sex, again, this time until he finishes. When it was over I was still really foggy and I don't remember a lot of what happened. He realized what he had done and began to freak out, profusely apologizing but insisting that the second time I had mumbled yes, even though I don't remember that at all. We are apart again and with time I'm starting to think he raped me. I don't know what to do or how to move forward or if this was even rape or sexual assault at all, and I would really appreciate advice. This is my first post ever, so please let me know if I've done something wrong. Thank you. Yes, and he knows it. He realized the first time that you were not mentally present and so he did the right thing and stopped. And then he came back to do it again. He didn't freak out at the end because he just then realized what he done was wrong. He knew that when he stopped the first time, but because he realized you were in your right mind enough to know as well and there might be consequences. The first time could have been accidental, but the fact that he concluded that you were too drunk the first time and then proceeded to come and have sex with you while you were basically blacked out from the combination of being drunk and tired, he raped you. If you ever have to ask yourself if it was consensual or not, it most likely wasn't. I'm so sorry and I hope that you're healing from this experience. Oh honey, I'm so sorry, but yes, he raped you. I really hope you break up with him. He knew you wanted to take a break from sex and he waited until you were vulnerable. This man is not a good man. What he did is wrong. Please stay away from him. You should consider pressing charges as well, but at the very least go North Carolina and block him on all social media /phone /everything. Stay strong my friend. I think as I was writing this I knew it was, but your comment really solidified it for me. Thus is super daunting, but I know what I need to do. Thank you so much for your comment, you've helped me more than you know. I've been in this situation before. A guy I trusted, at the time with my life, spiked my drink at a party. The next morning all of his friends claimed I had definitely said yes and willingly followed him to his bedroom. Don't let him determine how you view this situation. The other comments on this thread are true. He did rape you. Stick to your guns and talk to someone you can trust, whenever you are ready. It's a horrible situation to talk about, and you may want to keep it to yourself. But as someone who's experienced it themselves and kept it a secret for 3 years, I honestly say talking about it as early as possible is the best thing to do. You're going to be okay and you can do this, love X. It is so helpful to hear from others who have gone through something similar to this before. It's a little disheartening that so many people have similar stories, but I'm glad that all of you are now safe and happy and able to help others when they need it. I'm lucky to have found strength from strangers, and you have given me courage I didn't know I had. Thank you so much, X. If you can't say no, you can't say yes. I'm sorry, but he raped you. I was in a very similar situation, except my ex-boyfriend at the time forced it upon me very aggressively and wouldn't listen to my mumbles. Dating or not, consent needs to be given for any and every sexual act regardless of the circumstance. Hearing from someone who went through something similar is super helpful. I never thought I would be in this situation and very much pride myself on being strong and independent and taking control, but this happening in relationship threw me for a loop. Thank you for your comment. You've helped more than you know. Fiancee, 31F, has spent the last 3 months caring for her very sick mother, leaving me, 33M, and our daughter, 4F, at home. Lately she has been really cagey about when she plans to come home, and seems insulted I would even ask that. I, 33M love my fiancé, 31F we have been a couple for almost 7 years now. Originally we were supposed to be married in July, but due to COVID the wedding was cancelled. We currently have a 4-year-old daughter who I love. In early August my fiancé got a phone call from the hospital informing us that her mother is in a coma after suffering from most likely a stroke. They aren't sure. She was found by a neighbor 24 hours after it occurred, and apparently she smashed her head pretty hard against the floor. My wife is from Canada, and I am American. We currently live in SF. Her mother lives in Toronto, which is quite far away. In October her mother woke up from her coma, however there was a fair amount of damage, such that she is pretty much currently confined to a wheelchair and is having severe issues with her body. She is supposed to be having therapy, however that is apparently limited due to COVID. My fiancé is pretty much acting as a full-blown caretaker for her mother currently. This has led to major problems. Our daughter is really hurt by her mom not being around. The first few couple of weeks were rough, but she normalized. However lately she is becoming increasingly upset and almost vengeful towards mom. Then when mom didn't even phone her on her birthday, she now thinks mom is stupid and won't back down from that. My wife is the breadwinner for our household by a lot. While her company gave her a fair amount of free time off, she has been taking an unpaid leave of absence. This is hurting our financial situation pretty badly right now. While we can survive for a few more months, I alone cannot shoulder our entire financial responsibility. I have asked her several times what exactly is the plan going forward with her mother. She has pretty much told me she doesn't know, but she isn't leaving until she is either 100% never going to happen, or she can get her mother into a care facility, which is also a huge mess. About 2 weeks ago I put my foot down, after she missed our daughter's birthday. Pretty much told her we need to figure something out now. She got so upset at me over the phone that we basically did not talk for 4 days. We ended up reconciling and she said she would come back by the end of the month. Then today she told me she now plans to stay until January 12th, which is when she might be able to get her mother into a long-term care facility. The thing is, I don't really know what I am supposed to do. My fiance's sister lives 30 minutes away from her mother, but she isn't talking to her mom right now. Mom apparently has huge issues with her being gay, leaving my fiance as the only one who seems to be in any position to care for her. Her sister has pretty much said she doesn't care if mom dies. I am also somewhat upset, as in some way I feel she is treating this as an extended vacation of some sort. Every other day she is meeting up with her old friends from university/high school/etc. and posting about it on Facebook/Instagram. She also does not seem to even be trying to work remotely at all, which personally I think is a bad idea. Our communication is pretty bad right now. She originally promised to call me/our daughter every day before her bedtime. That rapidly turned into a couple times a week. Now to a single phone call on the weekend. My daughter is being vengeful and doesn't want to talk to her really. We text a lot, but I will be honest, her replying to messages has been really spotty, and 95% of the time lately I am the one initiating all conversations. I am tired, and I don't really know where this is going. Can someone help me? Also sorry if this came off ranting. It has just been really heavy on my heart. My parents seem really confused by this situation, and my mom is pretty insulted, especially how my fiancé is treating our daughter. Too long didn't read. Wife went to take care of her sickly mother, but is being really cagey about when she plans to return home. Our daughter is devastated by the absence of mom, and I personally am having doubts about when she plans to come back. To explain, she is actually my wife. Our wedding was cancelled, but we did sign the paperwork to get married. Then the issue with her mother happened. I haven't gotten used to that at all yet. I sent her a message asking to talk, and she looked at it but has not responded. I tried to be supportive, but also reiterated the fact that her daughter is really disappointed. Our daughter is being really fussy tonight, so I will try to respond to questions best I can. Update. We had a long conversation that frankly hurt a lot a few hours ago. Her mother was re-hospitalized after a seizure, and COVID is apparently making a mess of everything. Most long-term care facilities are not accepting new residents currently due to COVID. Her mother is also adamantly refusing to be admitted to any sort of long-term care facility and basically wants her daughter to take care of her from now on. She also admitted she really doubts her work is going to keep allowing this extended leave of absence, as apparently they want her to come back to work by the end of the month at latest. So apparently if push comes to shove she will just let them fire her, and see what happens. Which really puts us in a really awful situation. I tried to be more supportive as recommended, but I told her it was not fair that she ignored our daughter's birthday, and the fact she is calling once a week now. She got very upset, and pretty much said that both me and our daughter are being far too needy right now, and she doesn't have the time or energy to deal with us. She wants me to be a completely solo parent until she can figure out what to do with her mother. But she has no idea when that is going to happen. She also said she is going to call less from now on because it is simply too exhausting. I got upset that apparently she can see friends and has time to post on Instagram/Facebook, but not call us. She told me that she just finds us too needy and are always asking for answers that she doesn't have answers to, and that is exhausting. She also did mention that apparently most of these friends are basically coming directly to her to visit, and she isn't really going out. I tried to bring up other things such as how are we going to pay for our mortgage, etc. It turned into I don't care. You need to figure out. I finally asked if she actually intended on coming home, and she said yes, but she has no idea when that will be. It could be in a month, or it could be in a year. But she is the only one who cares for her mother right now, so her hands are tied. I am exhausted after all this, and I feel more confused. You need to basically message your fiancé and tell her this current arrangement isn't working for you or your daughter, and you need to talk to work it out. I'm sorry that her mother is in such a bad place right now, and I'm sure she's dealing with a lot of stress, but this obviously isn't a viable option for your family. Side note, her seeing friends might not be her taking a vacation and might just be her accessing an existing support network close by. But also, the GTA is a hotspot for COVID-19 right now, so she should really not be going out a lot if she's seeing her sick mother. The biggest thing right now is you need a solid plan. With the pandemic, things are already uncertain, and I can't imagine the situation for all of you right now. Maybe she can even work part-time from home to help out with some income from the family, and talk to her about the lack of communication between her and the family. Really drive home that she missed her own daughter's birthday and the rift this is causing between them. This could have lasting damage to their relationship, and could give your daughter abandonment issues. Possibly even suggest therapy if she's struggling with her commitments to her mother and her family. If she isn't willing to listen/compromise, or she gets defensive, what would you want to do? Is this something you would break up for? My 22F sister, 19F, sent me a text telling me that family isn't optional and that she wants me to be more present, but I'm kind of pissed off about it. I'd where to begin, but I'll start with some basic background info. I am the product of a one-night stand. I was raised by my mom and her, now ex-husband, who adopted me at birth. I had a good childhood for the most part, but now I'm LC with my adoptive dad, very close with my mom and my sister T, 19F, and I tolerate each other. I connected with my bio dad BD when I was 20 after one of his daughters I found me on Instagram and wanted to get to know me. BD has 3 kids other than me. I 19F, N16F and M12M. I started spending time with BD, his fiancee and my half-siblings. They're nice people, but I just can't handle more than keeping them at arm's length. My BD likes to fix things on my car. I'm pretty sure it's out of guilt, but I really appreciate it. They give me gifts for Christmas and my B-Day, and they like to make sure I'm fed. I never ask for these things. They also don't go out of their way to invite me over or anything anymore. I usually have to ask them if they want to have a movie night or something. I must mention that I am pretty severely mentally ill, so I sometimes withdraw from everybody other than my mom for varying periods of time, but I generally let them know if it's happening. I just never know how long it will last. It's been a difficult year and I've disappeared a lot for long periods of time since I suffered some head injuries in March. They've only seen me 2 or 3 times since early May, but I still talk to them now and again via text, social media, etc. And I've remembered all of their days too. Tonight I decided to send me a text telling me that she has noticed a pattern of me being present and then gone and then back again for months at a time. Family isn't/shouldn't be optional. If I'm going to be around, it needs to be for the long run, not just my B-Day, Christmas, or when something on my car needs fixing, because I'm welcome to the rest of their lives and preferably vice versa as well. I told her these main points. They're welcome to extend invites because I'm not comfortable just dropping by and I don't like having to ask all the time. All of them, in many ways, are strangers to me, and on some level they always will be. I'm often uncomfortable, especially with extended family. Family-themed gifts and events upset me. I resent the obligatory feelings and ideas around family because I don't believe in blind familial loyalty. She's out of line telling me that family isn't optional because I've been optional since the day I was born. I'm mentally ill and I struggle just to take care of myself day to day, so socializing isn't a priority. I'm a pretty solitary person by nature. I do not and will never have the capacity to be consistently present. I'm sorry. I haven't heard back yet, but I'm sure I will. I don't think I was too harsh, but I'm a little worried that she'll be upset by what I said. Her message was very out of the blue and it really bothered me. I don't think it's fair of her to make such demands to me. Where do I go from here?